Joining me now is the man himself, who's fighting hard to make sure that does not happen, Ohio Governor Sean Kasich. Governor, good to see you.
Good to see you, Sean.
You're just telling me you preferred being a host for all these years.
I like being a host. I mean, 10 years almost, huh?
Well, that's true. Well, it's good to see you again. All right, you come into the state of Ohio as governor. You've got an $8 billion budget deficit. You have a mandate constitutionally to balance your budget. You got all your economic plan through. Where are you now, and how does this play into your economics?
Well, we not only, look, Ohio over the last 10 years lost more jobs than every state in America except for Michigan and California. So we were really in a bad situation. We wiped out our budget deficit by reforming programs. For example, in Medicaid, if mom and dad qualify for a nursing home, let them stay in their own home and get some help. Also cut taxes. We killed the death tax, lowered the income tax, and we are in a position of providing an incentive for small business. This issue was designed to give local governments the tools to control their costs because, Sean, what I know is if costs at local levels are too high, it makes an impediment to being able to get jobs. It's an issue of fairness, too. I mean, we want our government workers to pay 10% for their guaranteed pension and 15% for their health care. That's very reasonable. But in addition to that, if local governments keep raising taxes, then what it does is it makes it more difficult to create jobs. Now, how do I know this? You know, since January, we've created almost 12,000 jobs, new jobs, and we've saved about 25,000 jobs in this state. I mean, we were going like this.
Industry was leaving.
Yeah, now instead of them leaving, they're coming. Okay, so we're creating jobs. The difficulty is if costs inside of a state, whether it's the state costs or the local costs, get too high, companies say, I'm going somewhere else. And when they approach me, when companies say I want to expand or I want to come to Ohio, they don't say to me, hey, can you raise my costs? They say to us, what incentives can you give us to make this place more attractive?
Right. How does this initiative, though, hurt your overall economic plan? Because, look, you're cutting spending. You're trying to balance your budget. Obviously, benefits are a big deal. Now
state employees already pay this.
Yeah, state employees, they pay for health care and their pension.
No.
This is for local.
This is for local and for government employees at the local level who don't pay this. You know, the ones that get pension pickup, and the taxpayers are paying not only for their own stuff, but for somebody that doesn't pay theirs.
So why is this important to your economic plan? Because they seem to make this your issue, but you didn't even put it on the ballot.
Well, look, no, Ohio from top to bottom has to be business friendly. Fewer regulations, lower taxes. When you look at the states that grow the fastest, like Texas, they have very few regulations and like no taxes. So what we're trying to do is to give local governments the tools to cope with tighter budget. We had to reduce some of the money we sent to local governments. The federal government even got rid of revenue sharing. So as we reduced that money we were giving to local governments, we gave them the tools to cope with those reductions.
Okay, so people decide that they're not going to have local employees, government employees pay for their pensions or contribute to the pensions and health care. Okay, so that means what for those local municipalities?
Well, in one community here just south of Columbus, they just laid off 14 firefighters today because they don't have enough money to meet the budget. The other alternative is you raise taxes. Now, up in Cleveland, we saved a company called American Greetings, the greeting card company. The community of Brooklyn, Ohio, raised the taxes. Guess what American Greetings did? They moved. They moved to Westlake, Ohio, where the conditions were better. It is so hard for small businesses to be successful, and when you raise the cost of doing business, they're going to go somewhere, and that's why Ohio has been getting clobbered for 10 years. Sean, we've lost 600,000 jobs in 10 years and 400,000 jobs over the last 4 years. Now we're beginning to win, and I wanted to give the local governments these tools so they could be successful in being a partner with us. And look, if this thing goes down, and we don't know yet, elections farther away, we'll work with local governments to figure out how to control their costs because we can't bail them out. We don't have money to just send to them.
You're getting demonized. You're getting beaten up. You have literally millions of dollars of ads now. What, $60 million, I think, that they're running ads.
I would think it'd be close to that.
They're busing in union people from around the country. I know because I met one of the bus drivers, and unions are giving free weekends in Ohio for people that will come and protest you, and they may not even know who you are.
Good. I hope they spend money in the state. We could use that. Yeah. Sean, one of the other provisions in this bill is if you're a teacher and you're the last one hired, you could be Teacher of the Year, and guess what? Under our system, first one fired. Can you imagine that? Let me give you another one. Some person from California could come in and impose a wage settlement on our communities. And we say, well, wait a minute. The opposition says, well, we can't trust the city council and the school board. They're management. I think we elect them to decide what our little communities can afford, what our schools can afford, and our cities can afford. So, this is a comprehensive bill, more comprehensive than Wisconsin, and also a little different situation than they have there.
But it won't impact the
doesn't
budget?
affect my budget. No.
Doesn't affect it at all?
No, it doesn't. My budget is fine. We are not only do we have a slight surplus, but we have money in the rainy day fund.
Yeah.
But it's not just about those numbers. It is about creating an environment where you can get people to work. If a dad has to go home and tell the kids, I lost my job today, it's devastating. And when a dad can go home and say, kids, I got a pay raise, or I finally got a job, it helps the community, it helps the families, it helps these children. That's what it's all about. And in America, that's what we have to focus on. Not the numbers, not the green eye shade. What is this number or that number? The issue is, are we creating an environment where people can have hope again and where they can get jobs?
Right.
Because jobs solve so many problems.
Governor, great to see you. Thanks for hosting us in the great state of Ohio.
Pretty good.
Congratulations on all your success. Wish you a lot of job creation here.
Thank you.